I'll be starting with the questions. So I have a few questions I'll be dealing with so that I'll be able to cover what we have planned for today. So Mr. Sakako has some questions here for us. He said, made mention of the process of product development. So his question is, what is product development? Does product development mean? So if you can hear me very well, just let me know by sending a message and so on. So in simple terms, product development talks about the process that right from initiation through to the completion of a project to betting a product, right? Those are the process of course through the process of product development. Let me use an example. What is a product in the first place? Okay, so that we'll be able to understand what we are talking about. Okay, are we together?
Okay. Yes, sir.
All right, good. So the question about what a product is will give us clarity on what the process of product development is and how it matters in marketing or in digital marketing, as the case may be. So what is product development? What is product rather? A product is any good or services, or service rather. A product can be physical or intangible, can be tangible or intangible. It can be a shoe, it can be a counseling service, it's not tangible. It can be a training, a product can be a training, right? It can be training, yeah. So a product is any good or service that is created, designed, or developed to meet a need or want and is offered to consumers or other businesses, right? So it's a good, is something, let me put it this way, is something that is created or designed or developed to meet a need or a want. So what is important there is that it is meeting a need. So where product development comes to bear in digital marketing is that the question is that question, who was this product created for? Or whose needs or wants was it created for? Right? You understand that? What need was it created to satisfy? So that is where you come in as a digital marketer, as a marketer. So you have to, I was talking about audience here, you have to know who a product was created for. I use this product example a lot in my class, and it's because it's one product that shows a whole wide range of difference. Just imagine you have a seminar or a camp, a summer camp for male. Then you felt necessary to go to that summer camp and advertise your product when your product is, say, female sanitary pads. You see that it has no marketplace there. You might make sales, but very little. First and foremost, you'll find that men will be ashamed to even want to talk about it there. But when you go to females, you find they will listen to you. You can interview them. You get their views. You are listening. You are hearing from the horse's mouth directly. So the process where marketers come in is understanding who this product was created for in the first place and what need or want was it created to satisfy. So remember I said a product can be tangible or intangible, right? That is to say, in a broader sense, right? When you can characterize a product as being tangible, that is a physical item, or intangible, that is a service, experience, or digital offering, right? Intangible is something I can't really feel, test, see, eat, right? Wear. So they're intangible products. So what are key characteristics of a product? A product, every product has value proposition. What does value proposition mean? That is, a product will provide value by solving a problem. It must solve a problem. It must fulfill a need or offer benefits. I don't know if you are following.
Yeah, with you, sir.
Okay. So secondly, a product must have specific features and benefit that differentiate them from others. For instance, if you want to categorize soft drinks, you have a lot. You have Fanta, Sprite, Pepsi, Coke, you have a lot. So if Coca-Cola want to advertise Sprite, for instance, although they are all in the same range, there's a benefit Sprite offers that is different from the benefit Coke offers. So every product, number 3, must have a target market. It must have a market. A product or products are designed with specific group of consumers in mind. A product is designed with specific group of consumers in mind. If your product is not designed that way, you find out that you, like, for instance, what I expect of you marketers is begin to do what I call niche research. Which area would you want? We have talked about email, we have talked about content, like content cut across anyway. We will definitely enter social media and so on. We have talked about blogging and so on. So it's left for you to begin to find out, okay, I want to do niche marketing. I either want to do content creation specifically, or I want to help generate emails for businesses and manage email listing for businesses, or I want to just stick with social media marketing. So niche marketing is, and again, niche marketing, you can take niche marketing down to, okay, I want to find an industry, right? I want to find a sector, an industry, or a business niche I can specialize in marketing for. So you can do that as well. So every product is created for a group of people, and that group of people is what the target market is. Okay? Every product have a life cycle, right? Product typically goes through a life cycle that from, development, right? They develop it, they introduce it to the market, they watch and monitor the product growth in the market, then look at its maturity and its decline, right? Every product has to go through that life cycle, okay? All right. So basically, that is what concerns us as marketers. I've told us the link where we come in. Where we come in is understanding how to deliver a product to the intended audience. For instance, is the case. Sales is the case. So I want you to have this mindset. People run away from marketing a lot these days because of the challenge of sales. And how will you, as a marketer, know a beneficial product? A product that's what I mentioned, product development, I mentioned product research. So you must understand a product to sell it. You must understand a product to sell it. You understand who the product is for, why is it for them, what are the benefits, the features of the product, what are the features and benefits of the product? So with understanding that, you will know how to promote the product. Promoting the product now means marketing the product or creating awareness for the product to drive sales. So now I have seen something, a situation where somebody will say, I'm a salesperson. The other person will say, I'm a marketer. Now, marketers, successful marketers are salespersons. There are people who want to seal deals and make sales. But you see that some people put themselves in one group and say that they are just interested in doing what? In communicating to people, knowing that, letting people know that there's a kind of product that exists in this manner. Meanwhile, there is something called value chain, right? So you take people through the funnel. and the end goal is for what? Purchase. So therefore, definitely you are a salesperson. Okay. So that is what you do. If you have 3 products, which one will you know that you have to bank on to sell? That is what you look at: the features, research the product, acceptability, the audience, and what the product wants to serve, or the problem the product was created to solve. All right. So let's look at the second question. Okay, the second question is not clear. Okay, number 3 says, since the central principle of digital marketing is mentioned is the content creation. Content creation involves writing infographics, video, and audio. Oh, okay. Now let's make this clear. The thing here is that, yes, you can gain mastery in writing. Infographics is just designs using basic diagrams to communicate, right? Then videos and audio. See, when you want to gain mastery in a particular field, of all of these, you ask yourself, I've said it before, you ask yourself, like for me, I can do writing, I can do infographics, video, and audio, right? But now, to be a videographer, you must learn how to handle the camera. If that is what you want, you can get that done. But hey, you don't need to know everything. You need to know how to utilize everything. That is what you need to know. You don't need to know how to create everything. You just need to know how to utilize everything. Let me explain something. Are we still together?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let me explain something, yeah? Now, a strategist is someone who knows what exists and can use it. That is what a strategist is. He knows what exists, how to solve problems, how to use what the tools are available to solve the problems. The tools may include talents, people, right? You to be very, very tasking. If, let me use, the content creators we have, like Lasisi, for instance, right? Lasisi or Kiki or any one of them will not be able to put top content in the frequency they do if they were the ones that shot the video by themselves, edited the video by themselves, and had to spread the content by themselves. What they will do as strategists is that they have people, they have a team that they'll strategize with. They'll create the content, strategize it, map it, then act it in front of the camera. So all of these things is important that you know how to use all of these tools that are valuable, put them together to solve a problem. But you must not be a videographer. Everyone needs to learn how to write. You need to try and learn how to craft content. It's something that everybody can learn how to do, to learn how to craft content. And learning how to craft content is not difficult at all. It's just you understanding the niche. Where's your niche? If you want to create content, maybe comedy, first, do you have a talent to be funny? If you do, you have identified that you are funny, you write some things that when you say or act, people will laugh. So it's not difficult writing now. But if I'm not a funny guy, I want to start writing comedy, I won't be able to write it. But there's something I know how to write. What I'm talented in, I will know how to write it. So the thing is, how do you direct your content to meet the need of your audience? Is first to identify your audience. Who are you? See, this content that we see content. You have to understand that we are not teaching digital marketing as content digital marketing as the content creation you see as content creators, as the name they call it, as influencers, content creators. That is not what it is. That is not what it is. Content, you could create content for a product. You could create content for a service. You could create content for anything. Now, listen, every content, even a content creator creates, passes a message. Who is the message for? That is your audience. Whoever the message is for is your audience. Okay? All right. So, how do you write a compelling blog post? Say, we're talking about, let's say, the content now. The most difficult thing to do in writing content is actually creating the title of a content. When you create a title of a content, you come about a concept, right? I believe that most, if not all of us here, can write essays. Essays are like blog posts. Essays can either be descriptive, can either be narrative, okay? So are you narrating? Are you telling a story? Are you describing an outcome? Are you describing something? So it depends on what you are doing. So writing the content, now I have passed through, we have talked about all of the things you need to do to make sure your content stands out. We have talked about the heading, get the title. We have talked about the different ways you have to break your content. Now, writing is what you need to do. What you need to do. So now, if I want to write an article titled How to Learn Real Fast, that is my title now, How to Learn Real Fast. My question to myself is that, okay, this article now, who is it for? Who is going to read it? Is it for those in secondary school? Or is it for those learning a particular skill? Is it for those in the IT industry trying to learn particular skills and so on? So now the reason I'm asking is I will need to know what will have to be part of the content. Should I say in the content how to learn? This is how I learned coding real fast. This is how, am I narrating my experience, or am I describing a process of learning? So that is the question I'll ask myself. If I'm narrating my experience, I begin to tell stories. For instance, how I learned digital marketing. I will begin to narrate it. I learned digital marketing by exposing myself to this tool, to that tool, and so on and so forth. So that is what is there. Then, if I need to be descriptive, I will begin to describe how I use those tools and which one I prefer and which one I recommend. So if you check, majority of the blogs are descriptive, while some are narrative as well. So when you see that, you begin to pen those things down. You pen them down, you write. There is no, when you look at articles to write, the only thing is that we talked about search engine optimization. And search engine optimization are strategies you put together to make sure your content perform excellently. How do you do that? We talked about key phrase. We talked about key phrase, keyword research. We said which one are the best keywords to use. We have shared that, the best keywords to use. So we go on talking about how to place keyword placement. So place your keyword in your introduction. It should be on your title. It should be in your introduction. And we said spread sparingly across. Then, apart from search engine optimization, there's readability. Readability here talks about how easy it is for people to read. And I want to give you an instance. Let me ask a question. We are not much, and I want response. I think it's only Omolola that's in an event. I think all the rest we can answer. Now, how do you feel, Mr. Chikezie Onyeka, if I send you a message on WhatsApp and it has plenty read mode? Tell me, will you read it word for word? Are you with me? Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So you can answer, I will say I wouldn't read it word for word. Yes, that is the truth. But do you know how to bold? Do you know how to write a title on WhatsApp? Okay, you can write a title on WhatsApp, right? You use to bold it, you just use star or asterisk before and asterisk after. Then you go and do number one, you put a new title and you break that very long this thing. You can break it down into chunks. You find out that it's easy to read. If you do that, it will be easy to read. And once it's easy to read, you find people, because if I open an article and I see it spread everywhere, so tight, so tiny, I wouldn't want to even stress to read it. But if you break it down and segment it, use bullet points, segment it into numbers and headings, it will be easy for us to read. So that is just what it is about. Okay. All right. So let me pause this. All right. So let's talk about SEO audits. And what does it mean to audit SEO? Search engine optimization. I said search engine optimization are strategies put together to enhance performance of our search engine. What does even search engine means? For instance, you are searched in Google. We want to ensure that our content are in the billions, trillions of the content available per second. We want to ensure that we can perform appropriately, we can perform well, so that people can get to us to see our content. See, right? If we don't ensure this, we will be lost in the pool or in the ocean of content. People create contents per minute, per second. New contents are created. So how do we ensure that even what we create will be in the faces of people? So that is why niching is very important. When you create contents that are everywhere, that are in every way, and you don't have a particular plan for it, you will basically be lost in the ocean of content. People will not get your content in front of them. So now, SEO audit is trying to audit our performance, our search engine performance, right? We have done all the things we need to do. We have researched key phrases. We have gone through the steps in arranging or in ordering our content and so on. So what we need to actually do is to check the performance. Is it performing what we need to do? So we can basically identify sometimes technical issues, and we'll see what the technical issues are. Technical issues may be the reason why our content is not performing very well. Again, one of the benefits is to improve website performance, definitely, because when our content performs very well, we find out that we can actually have improved website performance. Now, I want to also take the knowledge of search engine optimization to social media platforms or kind of blogging social media platforms like X, or formerly Twitter. Now, Twitter use hashtags. And even if you go to YouTube, you see that YouTube use hashtags. So what are these hashtags? Hashtags simply are like key phrases, because what they do is that they help you stand out in search, right? They help you do stand out in search. Because if I click a hashtag and you put digital marketing or SEO training, and I click the hashtag of SEO training, I'm going to see similar videos on SEO training, whether from me, you are going to see similar training from SEO videos, whether from me or from somebody else. You are going to see that, whether from me or somewhere else, you are going to definitely see that. Okay, so it is important that you understand how to apply, and I've told you on hashtags is one way to apply this in social media platforms. So now you definitely enhance SEO audit enhances user experience, increases search engine rankings, boosts organic traffic. Now, organic traffic is, I said it before, is like free traffic, right? You see, a great performing strategy is a strategy that can grow with organic traffic. If you want to show your prowess as a digital marketer, is for you to think of, I'll give you guys an assignment, yeah? And the assignment is, let me go to the chart and give you so that everyone will turn it over to me, right? So this is the assignment. The assignment is study Airbnb organic social media strategy. And make a report of your findings. To be submitted before the next live class. Okay. All right. Study Airbnb organic social media strategy and make a report of your findings to be submitted before the next live class. All right. So you will understand that businesses utilize organic traffic or organic strategies to create organic traffic to enhance what? Performance, basically, to make sure they get the best. So now a step-by-step SEO audit. One, technical. The first step is the technical audit and crawlability. Number one is crawlability. Now, imagine you have a platform. Imagine you have a platform that cannot be searched. It's going to be a very poor issue because you create content that nobody can see. And I remember using tools like Screaming Frog to check if your engines or the search engines can crawl your website. And I'm going to try that now again so that we look at it. So you download Screaming Frog, okay? You check for it, download Screaming Frog to your website. We are starting it. So when you download and install it on your device, you can use it to check if your site is indexed or if it is crawlable. If it's not online, what it means by crawlable is that it can be searched, basically. If not, you have to make sure you search for it. So can somebody give us a website to try? Send it to the chat. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir, we can see.
All right. Just send me a website you want us to try. Just send it to the chat box. Any website you want us to try, send it to the chat box. Let's so that you see. So now we have put on the Screaming Frog app, right? So what we need to do is to enter the website. Let's say So we have terraskills.com. Okay, so once you enter it, you can go ahead and click on start. Okay, click on start. So when you click on start, it takes a process. It begins to crawl. You can see what it's doing. It's crawling. So crawling like how text will be crawled. So it's crawling through your content. It's telling you what your content is made of, HTML, JavaScript, CSS, images. It's just telling you content. Now, look at all of these links within the website. These are all the links within the website. So these are all the links within the website. So we can definitely see how they perform. Okay. If it was not crawlable, you will not see anything here. You wouldn't see anything here at all if they weren't crawlable. All right. So that is how it is. If you want to see your site structure, you click on site structure, you are going to see your structure. If you want to see your response time, you're going to see your response time here. Okay. If you an overview, you see an overview. So if you don't even get this report, you'll find out that your site is not crawlable, right? This is the main site here. Okay, all others are dependent. There are pages, content, documents, uploads, and so on. So whatever is not here cannot be searched for online. Okay, that is what this does. So that is what crawlability does, right? Okay. Indexing first and foremost, if your page is not indexed by Google, you will not be able to find it. Okay, you will not be able to be crawled. Okay. So site speed is another thing. If you, for instance, it doesn't load, if your page loads slowly or your website loads slowly, people can't wait. Okay, they don't have that much time to actually wait on it over and over. So your website or your content is supposed to be mobile friendly. So we have social media is like a blogging platform that allows you create a profile. That's how it looks like. So when you're on Facebook, you definitely create a profile that you can make your post. So you don't really have much to do concerning design and so on, that design of the site, whether it's mobile friendly or not. You don't have that issue. But again, we are not just training you to be complacent. We want you to remember that you will be part of a team that actually designs strategies for website development and so on and so forth. As a content creator or content creating specialist, you have to actually work on content. Like I work on content for websites. When you send content, I'll narrow them down. I'll trim them down. I'll tell you this content is too much. It's not speaking the right message. Because of my idea in content or my skill in content creation. So and content writing. So that is it. Okay, because I know in a desktop computer, when you open it, the big screen, the content may look fine, but when you go to mobile, it will cramp up, right? It will just spread and break out. So you definitely will not have it looking good on mobile. So you have to make sure our sites are mobile friendly. Now, we know we have what we've talked about on-page and off-page SEOs. On-page SEO is a reminder we talked about title tags. We have mentioned that our unique key phrase must be in our title tags. By the way, this reminds me, Mr. Salako asked a question and say, why do we talk so much on content, email, segmentation? Then we'll talk a little on the tools. Hey, let me use this to answer your question. You know a farmer, yeah? A farmer doesn't know about seasons, doesn't know about seeds. Then you spend time teaching the farmer how to use a hoe or use a tractor. So if the farmer, so what if the farmer knows how to use a tractor and a specialist in tractor? If the farmer goes off season and till a soil, will he make yield? Are you understanding? Do you understand my question?
Yes, sir.
So if I know how to I use a tractor, you teach me, you just every day you spend time teaching me how to use a tractor. And I told you that I want to learn how to be a good farmer, but you are spending time teaching me how to use a tractor. Then you now tell me go and farm. I go to the land, clear the land, till the land. Then my question is, what do I plant now? And how long will that stay? What does this thing need now? When is the harvest time? You begin to see the dilemma, you see, right? It becomes a problem. But if I go and say I want to be a good farmer and I go to learn, the person begins to teach me about seasons, begin to teach me about seeds, begin to teach me about the seeds to plant in seasons, begin to teach me about pest control, begin to teach me about weed control, begin to teach me all about that. Then when it teaches me all of those, it now said, okay, this is how you take out weed. This is how you take out pest. You put insecticides. He spent time teaching me names of insecticides, many names of insecticides. Then he said, this is the one you use in this season. But now, this is how you use the sprayer. You spray like this, which I know it will not be long to learn how to use the sprayer. But if I don't mix the herbicides and the insecticides or the insecticides well, I might not get excellent results. So he has to spend time to teach me how to mix them. So using the tool is there. Using them is not a problem. Why do you use them? When do you use them? On what occasion do you use them? How do you truly use them? Listen, when you want to learn to ride a car, drive a car rather, you learn road signs. There wouldn't be any need. Share is just to enter the vehicle, learn how to kick the vehicle, begin to drive. Learn, let's go forward, learn the gear, learn. When you finish, you go to the road, no matter how careful you are, because you don't know road signs, they didn't spend time teaching you road signs, rules, and regulations. You go and kick somebody, but you know how to drive the car, but you don't know how to drive the car on the road. So this is why we teach these things now. Most people doing digital marketing don't know it. Most people don't know it. For instance, you say, what is on-page SEO? How to even know? People just create content. Keep creating content. They'll tell you you need to be consistent, you need to create valuable, you need to be valuable and direct. So people just keep creating. You see people post 3 times a week, 4 times a week, 5 times a week, keep posting until they accidentally get audience. But that shouldn't be the case. The case is this thing is planned, and whatever is planned has results. You can basically have, these things have metrics. There are metrics. Every tool, Facebook has metrics. So you can basically see how you can use this metric to measure results. So there is no result that is accidental. So on your title tags, you ensure that, for instance, on your title, ensure that your page have optimized keywords in their title tags. Okay, what is the keyword? The keyword is what you have researched that will help you stand out on search, right? For instance, now, you can actually see that you want to use, maybe you're talking about exercise and nutrition. So you use exercise as one keyword, you use nutrition or healthy living as another key phrase, and so on. So whatever you want to use, you research it and see how many people are talking about it. What is the use? What is the use like? How many people have used it? That is what we call in our keyword research, we say keyword density and so. So Now, when we recommend that you use the one that is low, not the one that is high. The one that is high have content that have used it over and over. So that is just like you have folded paper in a buta. You know, buta, what we call buta. This overhead tank, this big container. You have papers inside. You know that the chances to find a particular number within that is higher than if you have a paper folded in a flat plate. The chances of finding one result is now easier. The chances of finding it in a buta is lower. So that is what it means. If you use the key phrase that majority of people are using, your content is like you don't have, there's no use for it even, because you are still going to enter a huge drum of content. Okay, then meta descriptions. What are meta descriptions? For instance, let me show you something. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. Okay, let me search health and nutrition. Okay, so you can see my screen here.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, so now this is a content posted by Harvard Health. You can go down, you see the ones by World Health Organization, Healthline, and so on and so forth. But I want you to see something that actually is different among them. You see, when you come here, you are going to see those that appear in bold, those that appear as if I highlighted them. You see this one appearing as if I highlighted it. You are going to see others appearing one bold. As it goes down, the lesser the number of the bold. Then the most appropriate. The higher ones have the most appropriate. This thing. Now you see, we have nutrition. Okay, as you go down, you begin to see different this thing. But now, these are meta descriptions, right? These are meta descriptions. These are meta descriptions. So these descriptions I can basically read to say, okay, for instance, what organization say nutrition is a critical part of health and development. So I feel like, okay, I've read this. I said this gives me more context. So I can go ahead and open World Health Organization content. So this is what meta descriptions are. We are going from next week, you are going to get more details on meta descriptions as you follow and how to actually work on meta descriptions. Okay. So on meta description, it says we should write a compelling meta description. And I want to share with you a tool that can help you write a compelling meta description. We have the tool is copy.ai. Okay, it's not just like say copy. Let me see. Copy.ai. This is Hrefs. We have talked about Hrefs a lot. So you have free AI meta descriptions by Href. I would like the copy.ai because copy.ai gives you many more other other things you can do, as well as Ahrefs anyway. But for content, quick content creation, hashtags, copy AI is good. So let's look at this. See now, it said what? Free meta description generator, isn't it? And see what it said. The SEO meta description generator helps you craft compelling meta description that improve your website search engine ranking and click-through rates. So they're asking the subject description to basically give a subject description. And now the truth is that the subject description is definitely what is like what's going to form our meta description. Our meta description is a short excerpt, that is an extract or a summary, a very, very short summary, say like two lines, 3 lines of 2 to 3 sentences of what will be compelling enough to make people click your link. Now, look at this. Let's just give a description here and see what copy AI will do for us. We'll say to describe, we say health is wealth. We'll say we recommend, I'm just healthy living through exercising and sleep. Okay, so keyword here, I'll say healthy living. I'll just use that. Okay, then I'll submit and wait for my key phrase. So it's brainstorming meta descriptions. This will help you a lot. And using tools like this will help you actually learn how to, because right now, when you are starting out, you basically will not know how to measure your progress. So while using tools like this will help you, when you see the actual performance, a great performance of your meta description, you are going to figure out that, oh, okay, this is how great meta descriptions are written and so on. So you begin to find a way to actually copy how they are written and see how you perform as you go. So while it's brainstorming ideas for meta description, let's continue. We will come back to it. All right. So now we recommend that on page SEO, you should be able to use headings, appropriate headings. So you use appropriate headings. I asked a question earlier. I said, if you have a content that is so jam-packed and so on, will you like to read it? And the quick answer was no. But if I work on that same length of content, I'm not going to remove a word. I'll just segment it into different short segments. You'll find out that I separate them with headings. You find out that, oh, well, you will be able to read it. It will be more appealing and less confusing. It will be attractive, right? Okay. So there's one thing we need to understand. Content is an intangible product. You hear content marketing. It's an intangible product, right? So how do you sell content? First, you must make it appealing. So how do you make something that you cannot dress up, you cannot make up, you cannot eat, touch? How do you make it appealing? You make it appealing to the eyes, because the eyes is what the first thing you sell into. You make it appealing to the eyes, to the look. So to make it appealing to the eyes is to actually segment it, use appropriate fonts, use good numbering and good font numbering. Yeah, true words arrangement, basically. Yes, Mr. Salako, I see you. So you arrange and make it compelling. Put appropriate spacing. You'll find out that people will want to read it, okay? It will be attractive to people to read. And that is what headings will do for you. So another thing is, when you do all of these things, if it's appealing, if it draws me into it, what is does the content have quality? Now, I want to remind, let's use social, these things that happen around us. I remember that most of the video, I think so, most of the video songs are written by Peruzzi. And you find out that, okay, now people were saying, oh, the video can't write his songs and so on and so forth, this and that. It's not just the video. In fact, in US and in lots of places, there are lots of songwriters that don't get to sing their songs. They write their songs, sell their songs to others, or have different arrangement to sell their content. So we can create content, but not necessarily be great content creators. We can just be people who can give a flair to a content. That a content is great does not mean people can act it all great. You can see that Davido might take Peruzzi's song and make it a hit, and Peruzzi will sing that same song and will not get quite like the hit Davido will make out of it. But so presentation also matters. So no matter how quality your content is, presentation matters. So the goal is to present a quality content in a quality manner, in a manner that is appealing. Okay, so what is the high quality content in the first place? But look at this now. Let me take you to music. We have different genres of music, right? We have people who like, some people like high life, some people like Afrobeats, some people like blues, some people like jazz, some people like reggae, and so on, right? So if I'm a reggae kind and you come and play Charlie Poppy, I wouldn't like it. I will not even want to listen to it because it's not what I like. It's not relevant to me, right? It doesn't provide value to me. But if you come and play, oh, don't worry about a thing, I'll say, oh, yeah. I'll say I'm vibing to it, right? I'm vibing to it because one is relevant to me and it provides what I know, what I think is valuable to me. So value is subjective. What will be valuable to you may not be valuable to someone else. So I want you guys to think of this way. Marketing is about the brain. It's not like driving a car. That is what I would like to tell you. If you are learning data analytics, you are learning programming, it's about your hands. But for marketing, it's about strategy. So it's about your thinking. It's about your thinking. It's not about just, can I write codes? Can I do this? 1 + 1 = 2. It's not about that. So I would like you to use your mind. Use your mind. And don't overthink it. It's all within. How does Mr. Salako buy? When do you buy Coke if you take Coke? When do you buy this? Why do you buy? Why does Mr. Okezie buy what he buys? What does some people like electronics and why? Some people like gadgets and why? So you begin to see that the thing is just, all marketing is around us. Now, digital marketing is just taking marketing, that is your observation of people's buying pattern, people's behavior, people's thought, take that observation and use what? Digital tools. That's what digital marketing is. So now, how do you use digital tools? That is why we point out all of these things. Okay, it's like riding a plane. Becoming a pilot is not easy. Why? Because you need to learn the weather, you need to learn topography, you need to learn heights, you need to learn landscapes, you need to know. So you basically, when you learn all of those things, pressing buttons are not too difficult again, because you can read. You can basically read meters, you can read take readings. When you take readings, you know what to do when you take readings. So that is what we are actually talking about. So now, the next we'll talk about is URL structure. So I know, let me give you an instance now. When you copy a link from Facebook and paste, you see that the link is so long. That link is what is called URL. So it's so long. So if you paste this sort of a link, people will be very, it doesn't tell anything. The link has no message within it. So this is what we recommend, right? We say use clean, descriptive URLs with target words. So don't need to stress yourself. we can set this up. You just say that you set it up that your URL should be the content of your post, the title rather of your post. So if your post is from terraskills.com, it will be terraskills.com/how to make your bed. So in that how to make your bed, I have my target keyword within it. So you see that all of these things makes it possible for my website to perform better. Okay, we've talked about internal linking. Internal linking is like I write a post now. I will link yesterday's post to today's post so that when you read today's post, you can read yesterday's post if you are not coming from yesterday's post. That is how it is. So again, for pages, it means that all the page, your home page should be linked to your about page. Your about page should link back to home page. So to make your website one sort of a clean, how would I put it now? A structure whereby I come to the courtyard, I go into the sitting room, I can access the rooms, and from the rooms, I access the sitting room back. So that is what it is. So lastly, optimize your images, okay? Optimize your images. Make sure your images are optimized. Optimization of images here is about making sure you have your title tags on your image, your alt tags on your image, and make sure your images are not large so that they load faster. Because sometimes you check, when you Google stuff, you see images pop up. So you see images as well have descriptions, but most people don't put descriptions on images, and that is very poor. You have to put your descriptions on images so that your image will help it to optimize, your site to be optimized rather. So do we have any questions so far? Any questions so far? All right. So in the absence of questions, like I said, if you have some questions, you can send to me to my inbox. So in the absence of any questions, we can call it a day, yeah? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.